Hello and welcome, Lynx here, and today we are sitting to a Steam game, not itch.io, that's right. This is something I was either asked to play or I was gifted by someone from my Steam friends list, and well, those two options mean the games are kind of ahead for me of playing something else, sort of, even though it took a moment, definitely. Let's check it out from Moe Novel. Now that I think about it, A Sky Full of Stars. There was a separate Twitter account just for the game, and I remember following it at some point, and I was sent a CG to use as a wallpaper, which is pretty cool. Just a little side story. Now let's get to the game.
Oh, yoroshiku na.
Which seems to be voiced, maybe even fully. Maybe even with my character. Which means I can be annoying while he speaks. Or something. That's an old style phone, by the way. Unless you have a ringtone like that, but no. It's a rotary phone. Oh, so he's not speaking. Interesting. Can I go into options? Because I have of course not done that in the very beginning. Can you see the cursor? No, you can't. Message speed is nice. Change color of read messages, okay. Skip, we don't want to skip now at least. We will probably skip later for when we get to covering other routes, because I want to actually cover all the routes. I assume there are routes. There are, definitely. Anyway. Yeah, this is Akito. Hikari. She has a nice voice, by the way. I'm looking and seeing nothing. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that will change a lot. Rubbing the sleep from my eyes, I opened the foggy window. Okay, it was foggy. Makes sense then. You would not see something, maybe. And when the cold breeze blew in and touched my face, it sent a chill down my spine. That white screen also sent a chill down my spine. It's pretty cool that they clearly inserted videos as a CG of sorts. As a background basically for the VN. That's nice. But when I saw the stars twinkling outside, I snapped wide awake. Yeah! Let's go where? Well, Hikari and I, see you later! That's also some bicycle, I assume, that is completely not oiled. I rushed off, pedaling my bike with all my strength. I mean, yeah, dude, I would say that freaking bike is also very rusty. And found Hikari waiting at the usual bridge. She was running around in circles like a dog chasing its own tail. Red hair, let's go. Wait, what? Are we little kids? What? As she yelled, her breath came out in clouds of white. Where's Saya? If we don't hurry, the sun will come up on us. I got worried and looked to the eastern sky, but it was still so dark. I never would have known it was almost down if she hadn't said so. Actually, there is one thing I would like to do in sound department. Will it be this? Because voice. Actually, I could do it differently, right? Like, boom. Come on. So maybe we can lower that BGM SE as well. Movie can stay. Alright. White hair. Ooh. Monochromatic eyes. That was the name, right? Monochromatic? Or... No. Hop on! On my rusty bicycle. We put our stuff in the basket and Saya climbed onto the cargo rack. Then Hikari climbed on as well, holding on to Saya from behind. Oh, that is very, very very safe. Yeah, it seems like I was correct about the monochromatic eyes. This is that freaking name for two different colors. No, heterochromatic. Ugh, I'm so stupid. That's right, she gets heterochromatic eyes. Anyway. Hikari squeezed Saya even closer to me, even though she was already pressed into my back. Yep. I put my feet on the pedals and, as you can hear, guided my bike across the bridge on the dark mountain road beyond. We suddenly picked up speed and went flying through the wind. The wind was so frigid in our faces, it was more than cold. It was painful. Saya, press your face in my back. With the weight of 3 people, the bike was too heavy to keep climbing the hill with its rough, broken asphalt. As the slope got steeper, I lost more and more power. Hikari, help me out! As we slowed down, Hikari jumped off the back, grabbed the cargo rack, and started pushing. Saya, hold on tight! With a burst of added speed, our bike left the mountain road and passed through an overgrown meadow, heading into the middle of the forest. When the trail finally became too much for the bike, we threw it aside and set out on foot. And soon the forest gave way to... a large, black silhouette resting quietly in the dark, as if it were a sleeping beast. Oh crap. It was a train car. I wonder if it's like completely abandoned thing already. That's pretty cool. We were at the train station clinging to the mountain slope. It felt deserted, but not only because it was so early. No one used this station anymore. It was totally abandoned. Dude, that's so cool. I mean, I bet that this is absolutely a crazy thing in some villages for kids in general. Abandoned, like, little train station. Even though this is not much of a station, more like train stop really, but whatever. And like a cart from a train. Dude, I bet kids are like, let's make a base here. I feel like that's what I would do. I would do that even now. I would not mind. Actually, changing a train cart into like your own house, that would be pretty cool. I bet it would be a lot of work for. Hikari climbed up onto the roof of the decommissioned train car standing at the platform. Saya finally made it out of the forest trail and approached the platform. Come on, take my hand. I gave Saya a hand since she couldn't climb up on her own. Watch where you step. Hikari grabbed Saya's hand from above as she lost her footing almost immediately. I recognize this voice, by the way, of Hikari. With our help, Saya finally climbed onto the roof and I followed after. What do you think, Hikari? While she waited for me to climb up, Hikari scanned the horizon. From up here, our field of view was wide open and we could see all the way to the distant sea. That's crazy. However, to the naked eye, the sky was still as dark as midnight. It was hard to make out the sea from the sky. Even so, the sky was clear and countless tiny points of light twinkled above. Hikari was searching for the morning star among them. Which one? Oh, uh-oh. That doesn't count. Do you have the instructions? Shortcuts. Skips, not interested. Erases message window. Okay, that's interesting. Where is the moon? In the eastern sky, just above the horizon, the crescent moon drew its slender arc. Just next to it, shining with a light unmatched even by the sky's only fixed star, Sirius was a single bright point. We spread out our equipment and quickly started getting ready. Don't rush us, come on. We set up the tripod and the stand. Next, with practiced hands, we assembled the telescope. It was difficult. When we finished, I pointed the telescope at the star we had just looked at and looked through the finder scope. I centered it on that shining heavenly body. It's crazy that those kids have a telescope like this. I mean, telescopes are not cheap, right? Then I looked through the eyepiece. However, I didn't see the object in my field of vision. It was because the finder scope's optical axis wasn't aligned. I would just have to rely on my own senses to hone in on the heavenly body. Vixen. It's waning. There it is, a Venus. Hold on. I changed out the lens to increase the magnification and adjusted the focus. The blurry figure of Venus leaped into clarity. That's definitely Venus, and it's waning. It's so bright! Oh haha, here you go.
ちょっと待って、順番でしょ。ずるいよ、光。
After we took turns looking through the telescope, I opened our notebook and handed it to Saya. While Hikari held the flashlight for her, Saya drew a sketch of Venus. In a star observation, you don't just stop after viewing an object once. You have to note how the object moves, how it looks, how it changes or doesn't change. You keep records over days, over weeks. This book was our planetary observation journal. You would never know without looking through the telescope, but Venus waxed and waned like the moon. Its apparent size could change sixfold. Its location in the sky also changes, so there were times where you couldn't see it at all. We'd kept the record for ages, but lately we hadn't been able to see the planets due to rain and clouds. It's been 2 weeks since our last entry. Very soon, Venus would begin rising later and later, and it would be difficult to see. So that's why we had to hurry today. The forecast for this morning had been overcast again, so I had given up, setting my alarm for the usual time and went to bed. But for whatever reason, Hikari ignored the forecast and woke up early. We owed her big time. Looking through the telescope, Venus was so bright it was almost blinding, and it was waning like the moon. Saya drew that shape carefully. As she did, the sky gradually began to lighten. It was dawn. It was 6 in the morning. Ugh, the coldest part of the day. Yeah. It was so cold even the slightest breeze felt like it was freezing you. The 3 of us huddled together to find the cold. And I brought some bread for breakfast. So ready for everything. Can we just say that it looks like Saya is the only person who was like clothes ready for a cold night? Hikari was a little bit. Definitely not in sleeves department. But, well, me as the main character of the game supposedly. Not really. Anyway, we shared our food and looked over our observation notes. There were entries showing Venus in full as well as its waning, with the dates entered. Later we'd color in today's entry and write down anything else we observed. Today's entry, with Venus in the rendezvous with the crescent moon, was a wonderful addition to our observations. I bet it was. Is it far? When you take time to observe, you can take notice of the wonders around you. And there are also puzzles to solve. Mercury and Venus. Wax and wane like the moon. That's because those 2 planets orbit closer to the sun than the Earth does. Changes in the way the sun's light shines on them makes it look like they are waxing and waning. They're always near the sun, rising at dawn and setting at dusk. That's why you can see these 2 planets in the middle of the night. Even as the deep indigo of the winter sky began to lighten, Venus still shone brightly. That's why it's often called the morning star. Interesting. I did not know that. It announces the dawn. Shining suddenly in the morning sky as it does, even without a telescope, it was beautiful. Yet as brilliantly as it shines when the sun comes up, it will truly fade into the greater light like all the older stars. Whew! Our observation journal is almost done. On other pages we had sketches of Mars, Jupiter and its moons, and Saturn's rings. We'd even written about the other planets, the ones that look like tiny dots even in this telescope, that we researched in the library.
諸君、1年間の観測ミッションお疲れ様でした。
ね。
あとはこれをレポートにまとめるだけだね。
Just a little more work and our grand project would be finished. It was a little premature, but a huge feeling of accomplishment grew within me, and soon I felt warm enough to forget the cold. Wixen. Whoa. Intro? Or maybe not. Hikari suddenly stood up and pointed at the brightening horizon.
この列車は空を行く銀河鉄道天文台。太陽系を征服しても我ら3人の旅はまだまだ終わらない。さあ、銀河の謎を解き明かすべく次なる目的地へ向かおう。
Sawyer clapped her hands happily. I stood up, I struck at Hikari's face, illuminated in the dim light of dawn, and felt a sense of hope. Right. I felt we could go anywhere. We could solve the mysteries of outer space. I felt like we could reach out our hands and catch the stars. The three of us. As long as Hikari is here. Sounds like Hikari is like the main girl, you could say. A sky full of stars. Miyagete Guran Yuzuran Hoshi wo. I don't know if I read it correctly. Is this how Moe Novel makes their games? All of them. Ooh, that's nice. Little part being the city, the rest being sort of rural. That's nice. I like it. Doesn't look like a big town, a big city, and I think that's the good part. I'm absolutely digging the fact that they insert videos into this. Okay, let me quickly check. Have I played anything from Moe Novel? I actually don't remember. The music. Oh, no, I did not play this. I have this in the library for. You know what's crazy? I actually have every single of Moe Novel's games in Steam library. How have I managed to not play a single one of them? It's beyond me. Are we listening to the radio right now? Okay, maybe we don't. Wait, that's a tent. Interesting. I turned off my alarm and lay there for a while. Then I crawled out of my sleeping bag and poked my face out of the tent to have a look around. The sky was shifting from black to deep blue, but stars were almost nowhere to be seen, and the dawn was coming soon. Looks like I overslept a bit. The chill air forced me awake as I boiled water on my portable gas stove. I mixed the water with the dark brown powder in my cup. escape free of dirt and smoke, was clearer at dawn than dusk. True. As the sun climbed over the horizon into a pure, clear sky, the colors grew in a beautiful gradation. As always, it was a sight that made my heart feel washed clean. From my seat on the mountain peak, I had the sight all to myself while I drank my instant coffee. I'll never stop loving this! I enjoyed the blissful moment as I warmed my numb fingertips on the steaming cup. My heart dried out and twisted from the constant rat race of daily life, and studying felt steeped in warmth and washed clean. The only coffee on the mountain top was instant. It didn't need any richness or deep flavor, the mountain provided that. Incidentally, I call this a mountain peak, but getting here didn't call for anything as grand as mountain climbing. It's the kind of place middle-aged folks in light clothes hike to on a weekend afternoon. You can ride a bike right up here too. Even so, I was all on my own. I had the scenery and cool air all to myself. For just this moment, I could forget my daily life and all the little irritations of school and enjoy the solitude. It was the greatest, most luxurious moment of bliss. But it seems like a bit of a waste to enjoy this all alone. Hey. Even though no one was there to hear, the word stumbled out like an apology, and I picked up my smartphone. The thin plate of glass was like a symbol of daily life and my relationships with the people of this planet. I should share this feeling with someone. The first face that popped into my mind was Takeichi's, my best friend, but I shook my head and drove him out of my mind. He's no good. He doesn't have an ounce of sensitivity. This would be wasted on him. It would just encourage his vanity. I tapped my chat app and selected Saya's name. What about Hikari? The pre-dawn sky. I sent her a short text along with a picture. Saya, so delicate and full of sensitivity, would surely understand the depth of my emotion. Or would she? She's not answering. My text sat there, displaying the word unread. But that was a given. It was even 6 in the morning, she was probably still asleep. Even though I knew why, it bothered me that she didn't answer. I shouldn't have sent the message. Why not? I guess I'll go home. I finished up my coffee, completely cold now, and stood up, feeling dejected. If I could have, I would have stayed and prayed to the morning sun, but I had to get to my part-time job. I pulled myself together and started taking down my tent. Huh. That's kinda nuts. For imagine like spending the night in a tent and, you know, you get up and the same day you go to work. I would like to try that. Thank you. Oh boy, you work in a convenience store. I feel bad for you, man. On the other hand, maybe in Japan it's not so bad. Customers always start trickling into Thomas to open by almost as soon as it opens. Unlike more famous convenience store chains, it had a rural feel to it. Nice. That's nice. Also, it was right in front of the station, so it was actually pretty convenient. Having said that, though, it was a tiny countryside station. Most morning customers were students, adults, and on the way to work, or old-timers stopping to buy breakfast during their morning walk. Always the same faces. That's 142 yen in a change. Thanks for stopping by. When the customers let up, I had a chance to take a breath. And then... Can we repeat this? Because not gonna lie, that totally did not sound like a dog. Yes. That totally sounds like a person making the sound of the dog barking. I suddenly heard the excited voice of barking dog coming from outside. Oh, she came. Who? Oh, that's Saya, isn't it? I went out to look and was met with the same old scene. That is, a Shiba standing on its hind legs, wagging its tail, and straining its lead to the limit. And in front of him, her brow furrowed in deep consternation, stood a girl in her school uniform. It was an odd scene, but taken as a picture, it was actually quite pleasant. The girl had the kind of beauty you usually see in commercials. Her face was perfectly laid out, her figure was slim and elegant, and her hair shone under in the morning sun. All of which made her the archetype of the beautiful schoolgirl. Of course, what was most striking about her was something else. The eyes? Heterochromatic? It was her eyes. Her left eye and right eye were different colors, which is so cool. One was in intense blue and the other orange tint with amber. Those beautiful jewel-like multicolor eyes were now tearing up. Is she afraid of the dog? At first glance it seemed like the girl was crying because she was surprised at either Shiba's excitement, but actually it was something else. The girl seemed to reach out her hand, then retracted it, but then reached out again. The dog, seeing this, sensed something was about to happen and got more excited, wiping his tail back and forth and barking happily. Remember, first, let the dog sniff their hand. Then, pet it. Otherwise, it might take the wrong idea. She couldn't bear it anymore. The girl with multicolored eyes reached out to pet the Shiba's head. Stop, Saya! Her hand had stopped just in time. You know how this ends, right? What will happen if you play with him? Oh, so she's actually not afraid. Something happened. Okay. That's what you said last time, but you couldn't help it. And who ended up crying then? Huh? What do you mean? It was shedding season, and the Shiba's fur was in the middle of regrowing and was shedding a ton. Oh, okay, I get it. You're allergic to fur, aren't you? To clean her fur cover... Okay, never mind what I said. To clean her fur-covered uniform last time, she'd had to buy a lint roller from us and really work on it. Kotaru, the Shiba, reached out his nose and carefully sniffed at the girl's outstretched hand. Saya stared at Kotaru with her teary gel-like eyes. Close to tears, Saya waved regretfully at Kotaru and rushed into the store. I mean, it's not like you can't pet it for a moment. It had all the drama of a scene in some old movie where a mother had to give up her own child because the family is too poor, but then... What the? Did she trip? She tripped and did a perfect head-first slide into the carpet in front of our shop. And then a shadow appeared over her. Oh my. Kotaru, having finally succeeded in breaking the clip on his leash, leapt onto Saya with joyful energy. Hey Kotaru, cut it out! I can't get over the fact that that actually completely has that sounds like a person trying to make this sound.
どい目にあったよ。
I imagine. Okay, raise your arms. Kotaro had his way with Saya until I dragged him off with his leash. Don't even think weird thoughts right now. Don't you dare. And thanks to him I was now cleaning Saya's fur-covered uniform with a lint roller. Leaving it here last time had been the right decision. That's partly your fault, you know, getting worked up like that.
だって
Kotaro was usually really shy and timid, but if someone he liked came along, he'd wag his tail and want to play. Especially when it was Saya, who he'd loved more than his master for ages. Whatever the case, he was a clever, easy-trained dog who was usually well-behaved. Usually. If Saya hadn't done her little "I'm going to the bathroom, no wait, I know, okay, I will," this he never would have gone off like that. Did you scare your knees?
平気。赤くなってるだけ。
She's lucky she didn't get hurt. There's some on your butt too.
そこは自分でやるよ。
Okay. She blushed and took the roller, then twisted around to get the fur off her backside. Just then the store manager came out front.
空ミク、もういいわよ。
Wait a second, is this... I see my enemy of visual novels. And that is the clock without indicators. Why is that a thing, honestly? There's so many visual novels that have clocks on the walls. And those clocks do not have the indicators. Why? It's so weird. Are you doing this because it's too much of a pain to like now and then switch the indicators to a different position? The mystery of visual novels. Who stole the clock's indicators? Find out. Today. Or tomorrow. Or never. Sure thing. My part-time job is only in the morning, from opening up the store until the manager is finished with breakfast. In the back of the store I took off my apron and changed it into my uniform.
コウタロウが騒いでると思ったら、やっぱりさやちゃんだったのね。
ごめんなさい。
Saya blushed again and hurried off to get something for lunch.
梅干しのおにぎりとクリームパン、それにコーヒー牛乳。お昼これだけでいいのかい？
はい。
ダメだよ、育ち盛りなんだからもっと食べないとおばちゃんみたいに丈夫な体になれないよ。
I want to see her. Maybe store manager is the one we should be after. Saying this, she slipped a steamed pork bun into Saya's shopping bag.
小太郎といつも遊んでくれるお礼だよ。
ありがとうございます。
Feeling a little jealous, I got something for lunch too, and we left together. Alright then, see you later!
行ってきます。
いってらっしゃい。しっかり勉強してくるんだよ。
Right.
はい、アキトくん。
When we left the store, Saya handed me half of the pork bun she'd just gotten. Eh? She even gave me the bigger half. Why? Girl, what is wrong? What is it with you? Don't. People shouldn't share food. Okay, I'm kidding. But yeah, I'm the kind of person that be like, I don't share food. Kind of. Unless it's someone, you know, important. Otherwise, I don't share food. Saya, you are way too nice. Why is it not going? Okay. Ah, that looks so good. Stop and buy pork buns are a little different from other places. They're handmade by the manager's husband and packed with delicious filling. They're also huge. They are even bigger than other chains' pork buns. I wanna try it. Baibans are kind of famous around here.
素敵な空の写真のお礼。また山に登ってたんだね。
Correct. Munching on the singing pork bun, I took out my phone. And what do you know? Saya had answered. Knowing that improved my mood, so I closed my eyes and slowly started talking. Dude, this place is so nice. Wait, did I skip something? No, I didn't, luckily enough. The mountain is so nice. You can feel the wonder of nature with your whole body and makes you feel so small. Behind my eyelids, the deep solemnity of the morning view returned to life. At the middle of that view, drinking a single cup of instant coffee is the ultimate luxury. I don't like coffee personally. If anything, I would be drinking tea there. I tried to tell her, but Saya's reaction was so strange, so filled with self-satisfaction that I figured I should hurry up and read her reply.
綺麗だね。朝から素敵な写真ありがとう。昨日お母さんがおでん作ったの。また後で持ってくね。
For real?
アキトくんの分持って多めに作ってくれたよ。
That sounds like we're in the family already. Thanks, Saya. Saya's family is Oden. The grandeur of nature around the mountain peak with coffee was no rival for this luxury. It really was something to look forward to. When she saw the bus coming, Saya rushed to finish off her pork bun. You better slow down, you'll burn yourself.
じゃあまたね、アキトくん。
That's a nice looking uniform. Japan, I love your uniforms. I wish actually that we had uniforms at school. And the ones that actually look good, like in basically Japan it is. Anyway, yep, later.
コタちゃん、バイバイ。
She got on the bus and said hi to the other students from her school, then waved to me from the window. One of her friends seeing this leered and poked her in the side, and she blushed and shook her head quickly. She probably got upset because they mistook me for her boyfriend. Again. No matter how often it happened, she always overacted like it was the first time. That's Saya Amanogawa in a nutshell. Amanogawa. Saya Amanogawa. Okay. When the bus was out of sight, I unlocked my bike. Guess I'd better go too. Is it the same bike? Please tell me it's not the same rusty bike you had. Well, maybe. We'll find out. Maybe. Well, not. In the next episode. We'll cut it right here. And I'm gonna take my dog on a walk. Because I should actually do that right about now. With that being said, we are going to play a little bit of Sky Full of Stars, and by a little bit I mean we are going to play the whole thing. Right. Which probably is not surprising. We play whole games, okay? We're not like those crappy channels which play like 10 minutes and are done with the game. That's right. So subscribe. And like the video if you enjoyed it. I already like this game, okay? First of all, it's voiced. It's always a huge plus. Especially if there are multiple characters, right? Second of all, I really dig the fact that there were some animated parts, like with the hand of Hikari, and with the fact that the sky was basically a clip and not a still background. Huge plus. And overall, it's giving a nice gist of things. Huh. With that being said, hope you all enjoyed this not short, not long video, to be fair. Hopefully you will join me in this lovely game. In the journey through this lovely game. For longer. So basically feel free to drop by tomorrow too. Yes. And have a wonderful day. Bye bye.